international activities, or do you prefer we have our interactive activity from the speaking game? Speaking game, so we divide the class into two. Boys against girls. Girls team 1, boys team 2. So please, we have to be fast. So we're going to spend at least 45 minutes in this game. After that, we are going to treat syllable. After syllable, we are going to learn pronunciation of words. Or maybe we should learn how to write and say some sentences correctly. I don't know what they teach you in your writing skills, but I bet you writing skills are kind of a little hard. So I don't know what they are teaching you, but you have to take it very seriously. And at least the 2 tasks, there are 2 tasks in writing skills, right? Yeah, so you have to take it very seriously. Let's concentrate on the speaking skills. So let's begin. Okay, so okay, so let's quickly begin. Team one, quickly let's pick a number. Please, no interaction in class. Let your body and soul be in what we are doing in class. Team one, quickly, we don't have time, so we have to be fast. Girls, team one. Boys, team two. Just pick a number. Why is your hand on your chin? Are you mourning? Just a number, pick a number. 10. Okay, it says it's a bonus number, so they say win 10 points. Okay, team 2. Pick any number, you might be lucky. 15. Okay. Same thing. Team 1, back to you. Pick a number. 6. Now, please everybody listen. Please, remember you have to take down the question so you can rack your brains or try to write out the answers and learn how to speak on your own when you get home. Now, as Ielts students, the most important thing you have to try to do now is try to marry your mirror. So you have to learn how to speak, and the person who is going to tell you if you are speaking better or not is yourself. Face your mirror and speak. Then you see how you perform. If you're performing well, you will know. If you're performing poorly, you will know. So now let's read the question. You might be required to give personal information about yourself. True or false? So who's attempting the question? This is speaking test part 3. Ielts speaking test part 3. So let's see. Anybody in team 1 can speak. Quickly, we don't have time. My friend, you can start. You can help us. We are very certain that you are very smart. You might be required to give personal information about yourself. True or false? If you want to speak, speak. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Make mistakes and we are going to correct you. False. Keep talking. You cannot just say false. Reason. Everything you say, there must be a reason for that. So you have to speak with confidence. Remember, you have to make them understand that you know what you're saying. And you have to make good sentences. And they are looking out for your pronunciation. So you have to be mindful of that. So who is doing this? Now, to be able to manage time, because your examiner is not going to sit and begin to wait for you to think. No. So if I read out the questions, I'm going to count from 1 to 10. After 10, if you don't respond, we move to the next question. It simply means you failed that particular question. So the count starts now. 1. 2. You might be required to give personal information about yourself. 3. 4. It's just a simple thing you can make. Maybe you want me to point. Okay, hello, answer. You might be required to give personal information about yourself. True or T or F. False. Why? Why? Okay, try. You try. Try. No idea? Try.
I think the answer is true because everybody wants to know about themselves or themselves, so they can open their mind about each other. I don't know.
Okay. Try. Attempt. Speak. Okay, let me try and help you through. I might be required to give personal information about myself because without my personal information, it will be very difficult to be able to maybe relate things to me. For instance, there's a challenge or there's a situation with my personal information, they can be able to know the kind of attention to give to me. Take for instance, it's a matter of ailment. If I don't tell them that I am sick, nobody knows that I'm sick, and they wouldn't know the kind of treatment to give to me or where to take me to, or they wouldn't know the cause of what I am facing. So if I go to a place, the first thing I need to do is actually to give out some of my vital personal information because it helps people to know how to attend to me properly. For instance, if I come to a place and they don't know my name, nobody's going to talk to me because they don't know who I am. I come to a place and they don't know my mission. They might see me as a rebel or as an alien. So personal information, I think, are very important. So yes, of course, I might be required to give personal information. So let's see. Okay. False. Okay, false. Can I get your phone? Lock or lock?
What do you want to do?
I want to check your personal information. I want to check your personal information. I just want to use Google, don't worry. So you are afraid? Did you kill somebody?
Yes.
Is this Google? It's Google, not Google. This is Google. The glasses, Google. The search engine is Google. This is writing Vietnamese. Okay, don't worry. I don't still get this, but let's go. Team, we will revisit the question. You might be required to give your personal information after the class. so that we can confirm. Then team 2. Just pick a number, it's just a number. Pick a number.
1.
The examiner does not have to follow a script in part 3. The examiner does not have to follow a script in part 3. She or he will be listening to your answers and might ask you to say more about an answer. The examiner does not have to follow a script in part 3. She or he will be listening to your answers and might ask you to say more about an answer. Here they are trying to know if you understand what the Ielts speaking test looks like, the part 3 speaking test. Is the examiner going to read from a script, or is the examiner going to talk to you, to listen to what you say? Now, from my understanding, they just want you to say true or false and tell us the reason you chose true or the reason you chose false. The examiner does not have to follow a script in part 3. She or he will be listening to your answers and might ask you to say more about an answer. What's your answer, please? What? Google this. Why is it so strange to say Google? What do you guys say? Google. Google. Go. Google. Google. How to say it? Let me hear. It's Google. So why do you laugh when I say Google? So what you should ask is, does the examiner require to follow a script in an Ielts speaking test, in an Ielts part 3 speaking test? Let me see. Okay, so this is very simple. They gave you a tip. They said he or she might be required or might be listening to you or to your answer and might ask you to say more. So if the examiner is following a script, it simply means the examiner will just follow what the script say. The examiner will not ask you to say more, right? Do you understand? Now, the speaking aspect in an Ielts speaking assessment, the part 3, is basically on a conversation level. Do you understand? So the examiner just wants to speak to you, then you respond. The examiner just wants to see how you can be able to converse. Team 1. Maybe you don't like Ielts speaking questions of team 3, of part 3. Should we go to part 2? But this is the most simple. Pick a number. Team 1, girls. Pick a number. You, yes. 19? Obviously, you are not here. What? 2. It's not true. So you guys hold her responsible. She's using magic. Yeah. Vietnamese magic. Alright, so team 1, just pick a number. 8. Please listen. If I were you, I would be taking note of these. If a part 2 topic is about a good holiday, a part 3 question that follows might be about the pros and cons of traveling in a large group. True or false? Now, first of all, what do you understand by pros or cons? It simply means advantages and disadvantages. Now, try to understand the question. Part 3 is very simple, but you have to understand the question to answer true or false. Now, if a part 2 topic is about good holiday, a part 3 question that follows might be about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling in a large group. True or false? True. Why? Well, listening. Why?
I think a factory maybe about the cost and
About what?
cost and cost.
Advantages and disadvantages. Forget about the pros and cons. That's just speed grammar. But it's very simple.
Yes. The question as maybe about advantage and disadvantage.
Advantages and disadvantages.
Advantage.
Advantages.
Advantages and disadvantages in factual topic, not say about.
Do you understand what you said? Because I don't understand. I don't understand. So who can help me? We agree. True, but why? You have to know why. Yes. Okay, now let me just help you. Remember, from every question or from all the classes we've had, I've always told you that every question you're asked, you must have a reason, right? Now, the part 2 question asks you about a good holiday you embarked on. Now, of course, there must be the good side and the bad side of that holiday, right? So that is what the part 3 is about. And that is the reason the pros and cons, or the advantages and the disadvantages, is what is going to determine if you would like to go to such holidays again, right? Do you understand what I mean? So in the end, let's say the assessor or the examiner says, tell me about a holiday you just came back from. So you just, we went to the beach. The beach is close to Hanoi. I saw a lot of people at the beach. Some people were looking so excited. Now, it was actually my first time of going to the beach. We rode about 52 kilometers before we got to the beach. The beach is quite very beautiful and a cozy place. They had lots of delicacies and snacks to eat. Now, that's about the place you went to, right? Now, the examiner asks you in part 3, remember all the things you said. The examiner said, okay, you told me you went to a holiday at the beach. Now, what are the pros, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of going to the beach, that particular beach? So that is what this is about. So you get to tell the examiner that, when I went to the beach, there are quite some things that weren't appealing to me. I think instead of going to that same beach, because of these reasons, I don't think I like to go back there. Then if the advantages are better, that means you liked the place. But if you had more disadvantages, that means it's not a good place for you, right? So you give the advantage and the disadvantage. The reason why you think the place is good, and the things that the place needs to improve on, those are the disadvantage. I don't know if you understand. So there must be an advantage and disadvantage to everything in life. Now, what is the advantage of going to school? I'm very surprised that you're also thinking about the advantage of going to school. The advantage of going to school is that you're going to speak well, you're going to be smart, you're going to be intelligent, and you are going to be organized. You're going to know how to read, you're going to know how to write. Now, what is the disadvantage of going to school? Of course, everything that has an advantage has a disadvantage. Everything. Now, the disadvantage of going to school is that most times people that goes to school or that studies too much, they tend to be proud of themselves, too proud, because they believe that they are very intelligent. And most times people that goes to school so much, because of pride, they mostly don't have much respect for people who didn't go to school. Now, let me ask you, you want to go to the university?
Yes.
Can you marry someone that didn't go to secondary school? That is a disadvantage, right? Now, because you went to school, you went to the university. Would you like to marry someone that is, what is it called? Someone that doesn't know how to write? No, right? So that's a disadvantage. Education, in as much as it helps you to be smart and intelligent, it helps you to segregate. You say, oh, these people are not in my class. These are the people in my class. So that's a disadvantage. You begin to look people from their various stratas. Do you know what strata is? Various levels in life. Team girls. Team 1. Who has not spoken in this class today? Pick a number. We. Four. How long should you speak for in part 3? How long? Now, do you actually know about the speaking exercise? So how long should you speak for?
Around 5 minutes.
Is that your answer?
I think so.
You're still thinking. Okay. Hello, pick a number. 7. Now, before we go to question 7, now, let me ask again. How long do you have to speak in Ielts Part 3 speaking test? Not you. How long do you have to speak in IELTS Part 3 speaking test? You! Not you. How? How long? 1? You see, your mind is not here. So you speak for 1 minute? So how long do you have to speak? 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm trying to know if your minds are here. So how long do you have to speak?
About 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. How long do you have to speak? 10 minutes. But it's quite very, very disheartening that the question has been asked in this class and an answer was given and it was even displayed on the TV. But because some of us were not paying attention, we didn't even know that the question has been asked and answered. Now, you are about to write a test or take a speaking test, a serious one to test your English proficiency. You are supposed to know the rules, right? Now, you're supposed to know when you have spoken much and when you did not speak enough, right? So simply, you can speak for the part 3. You are supposed to speak for 4 minutes at least. 4 minutes at least. 4 minutes at least. Now, okay, you might be required to make predictions about the future. You might be required to make predictions about the future. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, this is to test if you remember some of the things we've done before in class. Sometimes they will ask you, in the next 10 years, what would you be doing in the next 10 years? Have we talked about such thing in this class before? Huh? Where would you be in the next 10 years? Have we said something like that before? Yes. Some of you said, in the next 10 years, I would love to go to the university. When I finish my studies, I would like to be a teacher. Right? Do you remember now? Now, they will ask you, what kind of job do you prefer to do, right? You've seen such questions. So those are questions about the future. Now, you are not even in the university, but they are asking you what kind of job would you like to do? What kind of, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? So you are predicting the future. In the next 10 years, I should be done with my universities. I should be teaching English in England. Well, I should be teaching English in Thailand after studying English in the university. So that's just a prediction. Or in the next 10 years, I should have started my own business. I should have gotten a good paying job. I should have started my own company. And I should have gotten married. In the next 10 years, will you have gotten married? Hmm? How old are you? 16? 15? Oh, in the next 10 years, you should be 25. Okay. You don't want to get married before 25? That's a mistake. It's supposed to be false. Let's just proceed. Pick a number. 5. You might be required to make suggestions, yes or no, true or false. Hello, speak. You might be required to make suggestions. True or false, and why? One. Two. It's 41. Okay, you can answer.
I think I might be required to make this question. Text one question. The examiner will ask me that how to improve the environment or how to solve the difficult question.
Difficult situations. Difficult job. Okay. Is that all?
I think so.
Okay, it's very simple. Would you be required to make suggestions? Of course, if you're to answer questions, you would suggest. How can you improve your environment? I suggest that to improve my environment, we have to plant more trees, we have to clear the drainage system, we have to make sure that we have good roads. Those are suggestions, right? Boys? Hello, pick a number.
Yeah.
Should you give personal information about yourself? Should you give personal information about yourself? I think we have gotten this question before. So it's time to know if you have been paying attention. Should you give personal information about yourself? Try. No, you do that in part 1. Now, in part 1, what do you do in part 1? You introduce yourself. Hello, what's your name? My name is A and Z. I am 10 years old. I study this, I do that. My hobbies are, right? That's the introduction. Then the part 2, they ask you, okay, can you give me directions to this place? Can you tell me about how to get an accommodation? Now, the part 3, they ask you something like, do you prefer to go to England or America? Or what are the advantages of going to England? So do you understand the difference now? So you only say about yourself in the part 1. Girls, quickly. Just a number. Quickly, let's pick a number quickly. 9. You might be required to plan for 1 minute, yes or no. have said something like this before. Girls, is it girls or boys? You might be required to plan for 1 minute.
I think we might not be required to plan for 1 minute because in part 3, it's part 2 of 1.
Because I just heard because in part 3, this part 2.
I think in part 3 is about a particular topic.
Okay, so it said in part 2, what happens in part 2? Why do you have to practice for 1 minute in part 2? Why?
I think we have to think about the idea to speak.
Okay. Has there been any time I asked you to maybe write it down before you speak? Huh? Maybe. Okay. Now, what it simply means that part 3 is just like a conversation where they want to hear your idea about a particular topic, right? Now, part 2. Now, there's a topic that you are being asked something about. Now, for you to speak, you might be required to use 30 seconds to 1 minute to maybe write your key points. Is there any time I've asked you to write your key points? Yeah, you have to write your key points. Remember, 1 minute is not enough for you to write in sentences or in paragraphs. So what you have to do is just write the main points, maybe the ideas that you will use to develop your points. Maybe you're talking about transportation. You can just write land, air, water. Do you understand? It simply means that these are the 3 aspects of transportation you are going to talk about. Boys, it's just a number. Just say any number and that's it. Quickly. Number. 3. Who is speaking? Who speaks during part 3? Who is me? Who speaks during part 3? Let's be fast. What? The examiner or the student? Why? Now, can you remember that I have repeated that in part 3 it's a discussion, right? It's a conversation. So in a discussion, who speaks? The 2 of you speaks. Now remember that there was a time you were asked if the examiner can ask you to expatiate, like say more. Now if the examiner is asking you to say more, it simply means it's both of you that are having the conversation. So in part 3, it's just like a normal conversation. He's not reading from anything, right? So you guys are just talking. It's in part 2 that he just asks the question and you speak. It's the student that speaks in part 2 and in part 1. But in part 3, we are just talking. Girls. Why is it so difficult to pick a number? Hello, pick a number. You might be required to give an opinion. Yes or no? True or false? Are you a girl? Speak. You might be required to give an opinion. Speak. If you get it or you don't get it, nobody's going to die. Just say something. You have no idea? Of course you have an idea. You might be required. You are here to learn how to speak, so you have to always try to say something. Why are you poking him? Stop poking him. You might be required to give an opinion. He is a boy, you are a girl, you belong to different teams. Don't ask his opinion. Okay, hello. You might be required to give an opinion, true or false. Why?
Me and the examiner is good about the topic and
Me and the examiner are discussing. Continue.
so I should give my opinion to
What is being discussed?
the topic in part 2.
Okay. Boys, if you don't pick a number, I'll just pick a number for you. We are taking much time. We have lots of other things to do. You might be required to compare two things. True or false? You might be required to compare two things. Quickly, true or false? True. But why is it that he's the only one that has been speaking? People at the back. Hello. You might be required to compare two things. True or false? And why? Okay, what did you say? Why? It's very simple. Okay, let's say the question in part 2 is: do you prefer to listen to the radio or watch the TV? That's part 2, right? Now in part 3, you have to compare which one is better. Is it better to listen to? Now, what is the advantage of listening to radio, and what is the disadvantage of listening to radio? What is the advantage of listening to watching the TV, and what is the disadvantage of watching the TV? Which one is better? Now, they were talking about the pros and cons in one of the questions, right? So what is the advantage? Let's say you went to a holiday. Let's say there are two different options. Maybe for you to go to a holiday in Hanoi or go to a holiday in England. So which one do you prefer? You are still thinking about it? Let's just proceed. Let's give it to you guys now. Okay. Girls. In part 3, you have to talk about personal topics connected to your everyday life. Boys, yes or no?
No.
No. Why?
It is part one.
Why?
Every night, in part one, we will talk about life in the we live in, such as play sports or hobbies.
I don't understand. But it's just very simple. In part 3, do you have to talk about your personal thoughts connected to your everyday life? It's in part 1 that they ask you what are your hobbies, right? Food, right? So those are in part 1. So in part 3, you have to compare things and you give opinions about something, whether you like something better than another thing. That's in part 3. Anything that has to do with your person or your personal life is in part 1. Then in part 2, there's a particular topic that you speak on. In part 3, they seek your opinion. What do you think about this? Now, you are the one that is going to say something about it. What your opinion is. What do you think is do you think this one is better, or do you think that one is better? It's just a normal conversation in the part 3. Anything that has to do with your personal life is in part 1. Then part 2, there's a topic you talk about. Then part 3, now they ask about your opinion about the topic you talked about in part 2. Is it clear? So no victor, no vanquished. Now, please, before we proceed to syllables, please someone tell me the 3 new words. 3 new words they learned over the week. Do you need anything on the board? I should rub it off. We already did this, right? You understand this, right? Everybody's saying yes. Maybe I should ask questions. Okay, so quickly, 3 new words you learned during the week or the last week. Three new words, quickly. Quickly. Okay, let me point. I forgot that when you make something general, nobody wants to speak. You're looking at the words you learned over the week in your book. If you know a word, you don't need to look at it from the book. Okay, 1. Give me 1 new word you learned over the week. 1. I asked us to learn new words every day, right? For your own good, you guys have to try to tax yourselves. Do these little things. It helps you get better. It's not for me, it's for you. Everybody, who's going to give us a new word? It's going to be very disheartening that in the class nobody learns a new word or 2 in the last class. You want to tell us? No. What will you say yes about? Say yes at least for once. Why are you trying to deny yourself of your intelligence? Okay, new word. New word. New word. So when you guys go home, you play video games. New word. New word.
Legislation.
Huh?
Legislation.
Legislature. Nation. What does it mean? Law. Law. Okay. Use it in a sentence. Say something in class. You have to say something.
The government should use legislation to educate residents.
The government should give some legislation to educate the government, the people, residents, to educate people, to educate residents, right? But the law, does the law educate? Anyways, that's good. Any other one? Okay. Spell. S. O. What? R. What? C. H. What does it mean? What? A boring day. Okay. Use in a sentence.
Today is a real sport.
Today is. Okay, so another person. New word. New word. What? Robust. This. Is it this? Okay, what's the meaning? Robust. Strong? Yes, kind of, but there are words that can be more like it, robust. It could be like wide, expanded, expatiated. This can serve as better synonyms. Somebody check out the meaning of robust. He gave a robust explanation. He gave a robust explanation. He gave a robust explanation about the incident. Can you read that loud? Read. What?
Strong and healthy.
Strong and healthy. Okay. She was almost 90, but still robust. Okay. He seems to be robust. Good health. Okay. Let's see another one. Strong, able to survive. Being used a lot and not likely to break. A robust piece of equipment. Okay. You are more correct. That's good. Robust. Okay. Hello. What are you writing? Oh, you are writing this. So give us a new word.
Consistent.
What?
Consistent.
Consistent. What does it mean?
Uniform.
Say again, I didn't hear you.
Consistent.
Yeah, what does it mean?
Uniform.
Uniform? No, I mean, what's the meaning of consistent? What? What's the meaning of consistent? Before you can say you know the meaning of a word, you must have to know the meaning, and you must have to know how to use it in a sentence. I go to school consistently. What does it mean? Consistent means every time, something you do every time, every day. A consistent action. Okay. Any other person? Any other person? Okay, please let's look at some of these words. Let me read this. Something you learned today. Please, what's this? Somebody try to pronounce. Have you seen this kind of word before? I have written it in this class before. Or is it not your class? Have I also written this? Never? Okay, let's. How about this one? Have I written any of this before? How about this? I've written this. Okay, so this is. Now, let's. What's this? Try to pronounce. Thorough. You know, this is a word on its own. So thoroughfare, what does it mean? Thoroughfare. Thoroughfare is a road. A thoroughfare is a road that has different parts. Check. Road that has different parts. Thoroughfare. Thoroughfare. A road that has different parts. So while I was coming, before I got here, I passed through a thoroughfare. What does it mean? Somebody should read. A main road for public use or passage through somewhere. One road signs, no thoroughfare. No thoroughfare means no entry or do not go in. So road that leads to different ways. Like it could be like you know the roundabout. So you know the roundabout leads to different ways. So the roundabout is a thoroughfare. Okay, what's the meaning of this fare? The one that is spelled as F-A-R-E, fare. You should know the difference between this. They are synonyms. You know the meaning of synonyms? Yeah, so they sound the same way, but they are spelled differently. This one is F-A-R-E. So F-A-R-E. What does it mean? Fare. This one talks about transportation, like transport fare. Transport fare. Then this one talks about completion. I am fair in completion. Or this one can also mean something not being good. It's not fair. What you're doing to me is not fair. Do you understand? Do you understand, or you have a question? Huh?
Yes.
Maybe. So that's not a confident answer. So what's your confusion about these two? Both of them? I said this one, the one that has F-A-R-E, talks about, it deals with transportation. Like when you give somebody money. This is your fare to Hanoi. Do you understand? This is your fare to Hanoi. That means this is the money that will take you to Hanoi. The money that you used to pay for your transportation to Hanoi. So this is how you spell it. Then this one, fare, has to do with completion. You can check the meaning. Now, please, somebody should say this. F-H-O-E-N-I-X. Somebody should pronounce. Pronounce. Say again. Pronounce. Hello. Pronounce. So this is phoenix. Phoenix. It's a kind of bird. Check. Phoenix. A kind of bird. Phoenix bird. Phoenix bird. Bird. Let's listen here. Play. Phoenix, right? Phoenix. So it's a bird. So it is not phonics. This is phonics. So you must have to be careful when pronouncing this and this. Now phonics, this one, phonics has to deal with learning sounds. Phonics. Now when we learn consonants and we learn diphthongs, we are learning phonics. Check the meaning of phonics. So you can use them when you are speaking. This one is phoenix, this one is phonics. Somebody check the meaning of phonics. Phonics has to do with sounds and pronunciation. Phonics. So what we are doing right now is related to phonics, right? So somebody say this word. Have you ever seen this before? Well, these are very simple words. M-O-G-U is mog. Maybe I made a mistake. Let's see. Did you see it? What does it mean? What does it say in Vietnamese? What is this?
Scam.
What does it mean?
Scammer.
Camera. What does it mean? Okay, I think it has a G, an R here. What is it? More. So what does it mean? It means where dead bodies are kept. More. That's a mortuary. Morgue. What does it mean? See, lesser? Huh? You guys don't want to teach me Vietnamese? No, this is morgue. So instead of you to say mortuary, do you know what mortuary is? Do you know what a mortuary is? Mortuary is where dead bodies are kept. So if you don't say morgue, you say mortuary. You know what they call embalmment? Check. This is mummification. Do you know what it means? Mummification is a way or is a kind of embalmment where they preserve dead bodies from not decaying. The process of preserving dead body from not decaying. Like somebody can die, they can make the skin of someone who died 100 years ago to still be good. That's how to mummify someone. Mummification. Now, embalmment. Check the meaning of embalmment. And I'm trying to teach you new words. You can use them, know the meaning, use them in conversations. You have to learn new words in case you're talking about any topic. I think we are also, after we finish talking about syllables, after this we're going to learn syllables. After syllables, in our next class we're going to start talking about register words on different topics, so you know how to use different words. Okay. Embalm. So, what does it mean? To use chemicals to prevent dead body from decaying. That's the same thing with mummification. Embalmment. Embalm. From embalm, you get embalmment. So, is there anybody that is there? Who's a Catholic here? Who's a Christian? Any Christian here? Huh? You don't? Huh? You don't understand? Any Christian here? Sounds strange. Okay, let's look at this. What do you call this? Huh? Hello. What do you pronounce this? Pronounce this. Huh? Pronounce. So this is mall. It means like a supermarket. So another word for this is this. So you can say super mall. Like a Vincom. Vincom is a super mall. Or you can say supermart. Instead of you to say supermarket, you can say supermart, super mall. What do you use? What do you see? Did anybody find the meaning more? Check on your phone. Did you find? Did you find? I don't know why. Maybe it's somewhere. But this means the same thing with this. Check marks. Okay. So if you, but this more means the same with marks. Just take notes. Let's look at this word that sounds the same. Okay, let's continue. Say this word, please. This. Have you ever heard of this before? It's the name of an animal. It's the name of an animal, nincompoop. Now, when someone says you are a nincompoop, maybe a bit strong. No, you should go to mean, name. Nincompoop. Nincompoop. Can you put nincompoop in your translation and see what it means in Vietnam? Stupid? So instead of you to say you are a stupid person, say you are a nincompoop. Right? So if the person does not know the meaning of nincompoop, the person wouldn't know you are insulting him or her, right? Because you didn't say you are stupid, so you are a nincompoop. Now, a nincompoop is a stupid, an animal that acts stupid. Yeah, so you know, have you ever heard someone say idiot? Now, idiot is the name of an animal. Do you know? Check. Idiot is the name of an animal. Idiot. There's an animal that is called idiot. So the animal, did you check idiot? What's the meaning? Just do, is idiot an animal? Check. Is idiot an animal? There's an animal, they will show you the picture of the animal that is an idiot. Now, when an idiot sees someone passing, an idiot will go and hide. That's the way the animal behaves. The animal behaves insane. Did you see that? So this is an idiot. What do you guys call it in Vietnam? That's an idiot. It's an animal. So that means you're behaving like this animal that is insane. An idiot is an animal that is crazy. Crazy animal. Now what is this? Pronounce. S-C-E-N-E. What is this? What is this? So how can we differentiate them? This is sin, 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 sin. You see that they have difference, right? The pronunciation has difference. This S-C-E-N-E. Please check and play the voice. So that the way you say the word determines what you say. You say sin, sin, S-I-N, sin. I committed a sin. That means you did something bad. Then the S-C-E-N, sin, or sin in a movie. Sin. These two, they sound the same. This and this. This and this sound the same. But this one is a short E sound. So these two are synonyms. S-C-E-N-E and S-E-E-N are synonyms. Sin. Right? Then this one is the short E sound. Sin. But they mean different things. Three of them. They mean different things. So you have to be careful on the way you say them, so we know what you're talking about. So let's, please, if you want to write this down, write it down, because I want to clean the board. Let's talk about syllable. Okay, so I can rub off the board, right? Oh, we didn't even talk about these ones. Maybe some of that time. Okay, let me explain what I have written thus far. So I said syllable is the smallest unit of sound. Hello? Syllable is the smallest unit of sound. It is the breakage of the group of sounds that makes up a word. And now, I went further to say that there are 3 types of syllabic sounds. Syllabic sounds or words. They are monosyllabic word. Monosyllabic word. Monosyllabic word. And a monosyllabic word is a word with one group of sound that cannot be broken or that cannot be separated. Words with one sound unit, e.g., man. How many, can you break the sounds you hear when you say man? Can you? You can't. Man. But, okay, let me write this one. Can you break these sounds? This unit of sounds? Manage. How many sounds do you hear? 2. So we can break this. Manage, right? Now, we're talking about monosyllable. That means, remember I told you that whenever you see the word mono, it means one. That means one unit of sound. Do you understand? One unit of sound, monosyllabic word. It simply means a word that the sound cannot be broken. Do you understand? Or cannot be separated. It's just one. And I went further to say monosyllabic words are usually root words. What do I mean by root words? It simply means that they are words in their original form and they can form other words. For instance, you see from man, what we formed manage, right? Do you understand? From man, we formed manage. It simply means that man is in its original form, right? No word can form man. Can any word form man? No. No word can form man. So man is in its original form. Now man can form new words. Man can form manage. Man can form management. Right? Okay, so even as this is, we can decide to separate these words and they can be root words on their own. Age is a root word. Do you know? From age, you can form other words. Now, let's look at, okay, some of the examples are moon, one group of sound, right? See, do. This can form new words too. Now, let's talk about words that has two syllables, two group of sounds. That's the second one. Remember I told you that most times when you want to talk about two things in English, they normally say buy or die, right? It means two. Mono means why, buy or die means two. Now, the second type of syllable is it's not die, bisyllabic word. Bisyllabic word. So bisyllabic words. Words with two units of sounds. Examples. We have man age, money, join us, etc. Now, the last one are words from 3 units of sounds upwards. Those type of words are known as polysyllabic words. Polysyllabic words. So from what we have on the board, now polysyllabic words are words with 3 units of sounds and above. Now we have words like communication. It has 5 syllables. Now we have words like engage. Engage. No, that's 2 syllables. So I have given another example, simplify. We can have words like commandment. Commandment. So these words with at least 3 syllables and above are polysyllabic words. Now you might wonder, why are we learning syllables? Now we are learning syllables because you need syllables to know how to divide the sounds. And you also need syllables to know when the voice goes up and when the voice comes down. Before you teach intonation, you have to know syllables. Intonation. Like if we are pronouncing the word communication. Now, first of all, we have identified that they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables. Now, in trying to pronounce the sound correctly, the word correctly, you have to know which sound goes high and which sound comes down. After that, we have to know where the primary stress is and where the secondary stress is. Please, do you know what primary stress is? Anybody knows what primary stress is? Primary stress. Now let's start with communication. Now, the primary stress in this word, communication, is in K. Now, primary stress simply means that that is the sound that is the loudest when you are saying the word. Now, it helps you to know when to modify your voice when you are speaking or when you're saying your word. Communication. Communication. Now you see that sometimes your voice goes high and sometimes your voice goes down. That will bring us to intonation and stress. So this, the primary stress. If you check your transcription, you will see marks like this on top of cation. So that is what they are trying to tell you. They are this is what helps them know the number of syllables. After the number of syllables, they will ask you on which syllable do you have the primary stress. So here we have the primary stress on the 4th syllable. On the 4th syllable. And there's a general rule in the English language that whenever you have a word that has or that ends with shen, The primary stress is before the word, before the shell. Do you understand what I mean? This one's. Are you here? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or I'm going too far? Now, every word that ends with shen, the primary stress is on the syllable before the shen. Now, let's give me a word that ends with shen. Information. Information. Now, what do we do first? Let's try to transcribe. Check if we are correct from your phone. Now you will see this. Then you will see the primary stress. This mark you see here is the primary stress before the syllable that comes before the shell. Let me see, did you get it? Let me see. Sorry, main. Information. So this is this. Information. So this has how many syllables? Information. 4 syllables. So it. You see this. Open it. Then you will see the stress part. The stress mark comes before the sound that comes before the shell. Now, what does it mean? It tells you that when you get to this place, your voice has to be loud and you have to stress it. So it is information. So it tells you how to pronounce it. Can you please give me the pieces of information? I hope you know that information does not have plural, it does not have singular. Everything is information. You don't have informations. Information is information. Even if it's 1 million information, it remains information. It is not informations. Give me, rather you say, give me the pieces of information. You don't say, give me the piece of informations. No informations. The singular and the plural of information remains information. So now, there's what we also call secondary stress. The secondary stress is the next syllable that sounds a little bit higher during the production or during when we're trying to produce the word. For instance, information. Where do you think this secondary stress is supposed to be in this word? What other syllable sounds a little bit high? Which other syllable sounds a little bit high apart from may? In or for? Which one? In. Any other person? Agree or disagree? Are you sure you are following? Hello? Do you understand what we are doing here? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many syllables do we have in communication? 5. So can you pronounce communication from this breaking of the syllables and the placement of the primary stress? Can you pronounce the word? No, the word. Now, okay. Car, meal, me. What do you have to do here? So your voice comes up and it's stressed. Do you know why it is stressed? Because it is a diphthong. Remember, diphthongs are two sounds, two monotones that comes together to make a sound. So it's originally stressed. So you have to stress it. Communication. Communication. Let's try to listen. You will see they will stress it when they get to A because it's stressed. Pronunciation. Not pronunciation, no. Pronunciation. Okay? All of these, I'm just trying to make you understand how intonation comes about. Now, maybe in the next class, we're going to learn about intonation properly. The rising tone, the falling tone, and the rise-fall tone. Have you ever heard of something like that? Intonation. Okay. What is the time? Okay, we have 3 minutes more to go. Please, if you have a question, ask me before we draw the course into this conversation. Do you understand anything from the start to the finish? What do you understand? Tell me. Huh? What did I speak according to you? What is syllable? In your own word. Not don't read from the board. What do you understand syllable to be? Say it in your own way. And it's important for us to understand that when you know something is when you can say it in another way and it still means the same thing that you were told. Yes. What is syllable? Syllable. No. That you're going towards the side of intonation. We're talking about syllable. What is syllable? Can you paraphrase? Remember, in Ielts, they will ask you to paraphrase. Now, paraphrase this definition. Say it in your own way. Change some words and let it mean the same thing in the end. Okay, so who can paraphrase this definition for us? After that, we just go. This is an Ielts class, so you're supposed to be very good with paraphrasing. They taught you how to paraphrase, right? Do you know how to paraphrase? First of all, do you know the meaning of paraphrase? So paraphrase, okay, paraphrase. Now, I will say it the way you understand it. You want to try? Try. Syllable is the smallest unit of sound. You can say syllable. Syllable is the breaking of words into sounds. That's paraphrasing. Syllable talks about the different sounds that makes up a word. That's paraphrasing. It gets to show that yes, you understand, because most times in Ielts writing, what they ask you to do, you must paraphrase. If they give you a question, then they ask you, and the answer is in a passage, you don't lift the passage. You have to say it in your own way to show that yes, you really understand. If a teacher writes something on the board and the teacher asks you, what is this? And you say exactly what the teacher wrote on the board, it simply means you don't really understand. You only crammed. So when you understand is when you say something in different ways and it still means the same thing. So you should try to understand and say things your own way, so that when you wake you up from sleep, you will not start thinking about what the teacher said, but you will talk, or you will say what you understand. What you understand simply means that yes, you have learned that thing. But if you read the book, you say what the book says exactly, it simply means you don't know it by heart. So please, this is where we'll be ending the class today. I'll see you when I see you. Bye for now. Please. Assignments. That's if you will do it. If you will remember. Please try to learn intonation. Again, learn new words. And please try to learn the questions, speaking skills, especially part 2. The part 2 is very serious, so you have to try to practice. Did we do something like this? Did I give you any piece of paper and ask you to speak about it? Did I give you anything like this? You've not done this? Okay, don't worry. In our next class, I have some part 2 speaking questions, impromptu questions that I wrote out. In our next class, please remind me, we're going to talk about part 2 questions. You come out, you speak. I'll sit on your seats, you will speak. Or maybe I should do it this way. Don't worry, in our next class. Okay, so I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.